Well, I feel like I'm sort of gone wild in the animal arena because we're all joking about Michael Beran. Michael Beran is actually in the wildlife animal sanctuary situation, whatever it is. He is on Vegas Live with Ninon, and I am Ninon, your host. And Michael, how are you? Good to have you on.
I'm doing fabulous.
So we were just going around because of Vegas. We were wondering what the wildlife was, and it's real animals, right?
It is.
We're talking
it's
about
actual animals. But I'm here more for the human animals this trip.
This trip is the human animal. What's going on with the well? There's a lot going on with the human animals because there always is, and of course being in Vegas
Correct.
too. What's going on
Correct.
with the human animals?
Well, I'm in town to film Arena Wars. And Arena Wars is about the human species.
The human species.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what's going on? I don't know if I've ever been called a human species, but I am now a human species.
Well,
I definitely am human. That's part, yes.
Right?
Yes, right. So now let's explain all this, what you're doing, because this is all very new to me and I love it.
Where do we want to start?
Anyway, let's start the beginning.
Okay, the very
Start
beginning.
very beginning.
Well, I was a young boy in the swamps of Louisiana. Do we want to go that far back?
Well, I don't know. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because that got you into it, right?
Well, that's where I'm from. I'm really from the swamps of Louisiana.
You're from the swamps of a lot of humidity.
A lot of humidity. A lot of snakes. A lot of creatures.
And you loved it.
I did. I really did.
Better him than me. That's for sure.
Well, I'm the oldest of 4 boys.
Yes.
And so I had to teach my siblings how to survive in the swamp.
Wow.
You know? Well, I didn't have to, but
No.
I sure liked it.
But you like to do that.
I did. I really did.
So from that, you as a young boy, then you went into your adulthood and you started
We probably should jump forward a few years.
We're going to jump forward a few years because otherwise we could stay right back.
Right.
For a long
We could talk
time.
about that forever. But in 2010,
Yeah.
I started a company called Wildlife Command Center where we rescue people from wild animals.
Yes.
And when I got into it, I found out that Wildlife Command Center sounds very military-like. The
It
command
does.
center.
Yes, the command center. I like
Right.
that. You say command, I say command.
There you go. And so I've got 5 divisions now that operate within Wildlife Command Center.
Really?
And so one of them, we rescue people from wild animals. And
This is a true story. I mean, this is all true. I mean, we don't think of this, but this actually happened in Vegas, didn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
it did.
Were
Absolutely.
you aware? Were you around when that happened?
No,
With
I wasn't.
Siegfried and Roy?
No,
No.
I
but-
wasn't.
So you know. So this is really roughly what you're talking about.
similar to that.
Okay.
A few months ago, well, oh goodness, almost a year ago, I was in town again filming a different movie, and one of the casinos nearby had a rattlesnake issue. And so I just happened to be in town. They just happened to call me, and so I was able to go out and resolve that issue.
So where was the rattlesnake? In the hotel?
Inside the atrium.
Oh, inside
the hotel.
atrium.
Yeah. We're not going to say which hotel. But
Mandalay Bay.
no, not Mandolin, but
No, we don't have to say it. No, we
Yeah.
don't have to say it. But
But-
how did it? What do you know how it? Would you know how it got in there?
oh yeah, there's a lot of ways that animals can get into structures. It's amazing how many animals
Because snakes can go through like little tiny holes.
they can, but there are big gaps and holes in a lot of structures, and they can manipulate because they don't have cell phones, they don't have TV, they've got nothing to do but try to get in sometimes.
I love the way he says that so seriously. They don't have cell phones. They don't have... Can you imagine a
they got
rattlesnake?
nothing but time.
A rattlesnake going around with a cell phone. Hi, honey, how are you? Yeah, I'm just crawling in this hole. Yeah, I'll get out of the hole real soon.
Well, it's amazing because my customers go, "Oh, they're so smart. How did they figure that out?" And I'm like, "Well, they didn't have anything else to do, so they just kept trying every single place, and finally they found a place to get through."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That's usually how wildlife intrudes into our urban dwellings.
So when you say you're actually doing it for the humans and everything, this is the way you're talking about humans when some animal comes. So
Right.
what are you filming here now in Vegas?
So right now I'm filming Arena Wars.
Okay.
And it is a post-apocalyptic justice type system. And basically there are no prisoners because capital punishment is the rule.
Okay.
Like everybody, if you get caught pickpocketing, you're going to die. They're going to kill you. And so
This is interesting.
the justice system is
I won't
that
pickpocket anymore.
right? But in the film, there is big corporation, there's greed, and this big corporation, right? This big corporation has developed this arena wars where they get the prisoners to fight for their lives, and if they win the gauntlet, then they earn their freedom. And so,
wow. So is this true life? Then there's a movie, right?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Okay. It'd be funny if it was true life, though, huh?
Might not be too far off.
No, that's what I was thinking. Like, maybe this is this could sort of show people,
right?
If you do this right and you really go through that, then you're free.
But it's amazing the resources that are here in Las Vegas.
Really?
I love coming here to film because there's just so many resources. Not only just talent, but people and equipment and facilities, especially right now.
And especially now. And especially they're starting up because I believe July 1st, which is coming pretty soon, the whole of Vegas is opening up.
Yeah, but I'm like you. I didn't stop.
You did the same.
We did 5 films in 2020.
But I often wonder why people stop, because I always think if you can't do one thing, then do another thing and work out how you can do it. And that's what we did. We were filming at the Pepper Mill all this time, and then we couldn't film there anymore because of what's going on. And then now we've got this situation, and we just carried on. It didn't.
I think sometimes those of us that are independent and the entrepreneurial mindset, we figure out a way.
We do, and we always do. And it's funny how we figure that out, and it's funny how we can't stop, we've got to do this, we've got to do that, and we've got to get this going. And, well, why can't that work this way? And that's exactly what happens. Now, getting back to these wild animals, I see a lot of stories that wild animals get out in certain parts of America or wherever, and sort of, like lions and different things like that. Do you have anything to do with that?
So we've never done any big predators like lions or tigers, but do you know that zebras live on the Serengeti?
Well, in England we call them zebras, but that's okay.
I put some E in there. And if my southern drawl comes out, I put some real southern zebras. But zebras, they live on the Serengeti with lions. Okay. So they have a unique skill set. And you can buy a baby zebra for $1,500.
Really?
Yeah, just about anywhere. And a lot of ranches have them.
And legally, you can have it on
legally.
A farm?
Yes.
Because it's not dangerous?
No, they're not dangerous. However, if they get out, they are difficult to catch. Because, one, they're equine in nature, but they can punch forward with their forward feet. They can kick forward, which is unique.
That is unique.
Yeah. And also their bite strength. They have incredible jaw muscles. They can bite and just crush and just break my bone. No problem.
So we're learning something because we see these zebras, and they're incredible when they're in the, I guess, wherever they're from, Africa, they're in Africa. And when they're in a herd of them and you watch them as they leap forward, they're so elegant and so beautiful.
And muscular and strong.
Well, that you don't see. Now you know they are, so stay away
yes.
from them unless you...
So we've had to capture quite a few zebras, probably a handful of zebras. And every time it's an adventure, somebody gets hurt and things get broken.
What about you? Do you probably...
I get hurt plenty.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
What's been the worst thing? What's been the worst thing that an animal has done to you? I'm not talking about an animal as of in a female or anything like that.
Well, certainly, I love all animals.
They know you. Do they know you love them?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
You can ask my wife Bonnie, who is a wonderful person because she puts up with me. But you can ask Bonnie. We'll go out into a park or something, and every dog out there will run up to me.
Yes,
and she'll just say, "Yeah, he knows you're an animal person."
Yeah, because I have the same thing with dogs. I have the same thing with animals.
You like them too?
I love them.
Yeah,
and they'll come up and they want to be stroked and this. And I was thinking, how do you trust me? How do you But they have the instinct, don't they? They can
sense. So animals and small children, like little kids, will just walk up to me because they can sense that I'm going to take care of them.
I do the same thing. They'll come right up to me and they'll just look at me and I'll say, "Hey, how are you?" And then they're smiling and
then the parents are like, "Come here." Yeah, Get away from her.
And like I was angry, I think, why don't you just be nice to this child? It might walk up to you too.
But I love all animals.
Yeah.
Except raccoons.
Well, are they? Well, obviously they're tricky.
Raccoons also, I have more stitches from raccoons than any other animal.
Really?
They know how to fight.
When they go to attack you, is there part of your body, or is it just the closest near them that they'll
Yeah, it's
attack
always
at?
the arms usually.
Yeah, because you're reaching out to try to get them, so they grab
or
you.
protect myself.
Or protect yourself from them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought raccoons, because raccoons are not that big.
They're not, but they're fast.
See?
and they don't take prisoners. Raccoons are they're going to get you.
They're actually what their name is actually what they are. It's a raccoon.
Raccoon.
It's like you'll say something. Oh, you're just like a raccoon. Aggressive and sort of fighting. What is the best story you've ever that sort of keeps in your mind of what you've done and sort of saving these animals and helping these animals? You must have a few.
Probably my favorite story is this very young widow down in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay.
Very young widow. Her husband was killed in an offshore accident on an offshore oil rig. She was only 34.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And she called me crying. And no one believed that she had a snake in her downstairs guest bathroom. Okay. Ooh. Now, she was well off from the settlement of her husband. And this gorgeous home. It was beautiful. I mean, granite, Italian marble, brass, everything, dark wood. It was really, really nice.
So the snake hung out in a high-class area.
Oh, definitely. Well, anyway, she called me up. She convinced me to come down there. It was a 4-hour drive. She convinced me to come down there because nobody believed her that there was a snake in her. And she'd had multiple people out, multiple companies out, and nobody could find the snake. Well, I show up and we walk in and I immediately look to the left and there's this beautiful hardwood door that's all taped up with duct tape. And I was like, I guess he's in there, huh? She goes, yeah, it's in there. And we go.
Dead giveaway.
I go in and, very carefully I cut all the duct tape and I open the door real slow. But when I get about this wide open, the hinges go like that. And the snake jumps out of the derby clothes hamper right into the toilet and disappears.
Oh,
well,
no.
I immediately run around the back of the house. I get this special device I have. I undo the sewer and I put it in there. It's called a sewer balloon. I block him up. So at least he's...
You know where he is.
At least between the bathroom and there. Well, after I do all that, I go back in the house just in time to see the snake come out of the toilet and go back into the hamper. So I get some WD-40. You know what that is?
That oil.
Yeah. Spray it on the hinges, and I tell her, I was like, look, we're going to get this thing. We're going to catch it. You're going to open the door really fast, and I'm going to run in there, and I'm going to close that lid on that toilet, And sure enough, we did that. And as she opens it, she bumps the door, and the snake goes like this, and I jump in, and I get that lid down, and the snake falls around this way. And as it goes around that way, I grab it like this. And the snake turns around and it latches onto me. And at that moment, I knew exactly what it was. There's only one snake that will grab you and chew.
And try to chew your arm off.
And that's the green anaconda. And sure enough, it was an 8-foot green anaconda in Lafayette, Louisiana, where they don't belong.
Somebody had it as a pet.
Yes.
There you go.
So anyway, I'm bleeding like a stuck pig because the saliva has anticoagulant, And I yell at her, I say, get a towel so I don't bleed all over your floor. And I wrap it up and I take it outside. But she was so grateful. Not because I captured the snake.
Well, you believed her.
I believed her.
You believed her.
I believed her.
Because women sometimes, we say this happened or that happened. Oh, you're just kidding. You don't know what's going on. And sometimes that's not true. And that's probably what was her problem was. That everybody was saying, well, you don't know what you're talking about and you're just hallucinating.
Well, and every time somebody opened that door, it squeaked and it jumped and they weren't looking for it, and so they never saw it.
They never saw it. But that's not you, because you believed that she actually had this snake.
Well,
that's quite a story. I did not get a story like that out. That's an amazing... What about your arm? What happened? Any bruises? No, you're fine.
I've got plenty of scars.
Yeah, I'm sure you do have.
Certainly do.
But that's an incredible story.
That's the one that always sticks out because she still sends me a a Christmas card to this day, and that was back in 2011.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that sweet? I hope she got married, and I hope she's fine, and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty cool story.
Thanks.
So how do people get to you, and how do people know where you are? Because this is I've never had anybody on my show like this that actually captures animals and helps, and you help the animals as well as helping the people. You're sort of helping both people. So how did all this, is there many of you around doing this, or?
So there are quite a few wildlife control companies, but there's only one like Wildlife Command Center. We operate 5 divisions.
Yes.
We do Wildlife Command Center, we rescue people. We do Pest Command Center, which is insects.
Okay.
Like insects. We do Wildlife Command Center movie animals, where we train animals for movies.
Oh, so you train, fabulous.
And then we do Raptor Rescue, where we rescue birds of prey, hawks, eagles, owls, that are injured by humans unintentionally most of the time. You know, and and then we have Avian Strike Force, where we try to help companies and industries that have problems with invasive species of birds, like pigeons and starlings.
Oh, that go into the attic and they live there. What about bees? Do you know?
Yes, so we just started doing live bee removal, where we actually translocate the bees and don't kill them.
Oh, that is wonderful. Getting all the beehive people out there that will be calling you now, because you know we need to save the bees, because they pollinate. They pollinate, and they need to be in the world.
Yes.
They need to be in the world. You know, there's a lot of animals out there that, you know, kill. No, we need a lot of these animals. Otherwise, why would they be, you know, in the world? You know, why are they there? What about dogs? I know I watch these dog stories, and I just cry sometimes, because that people have tied them up and left them there, or they haven't fed them, and they've been running around for a year, and they're skinny and no hair and everything else.
So we don't typically do that because dogs are a high-profile animal, and they get a lot of assistance.
Attention. Yeah.
And there are a lot of really good companies and organizations out there that specialize in it. We tend to do the things that don't get so much attention.
Yeah. And also, people don't really want to do them anyway, because some of them could be very dangerous.
Right.
But you've been trained. Now, your wife goes with you on a lot of these things, or you go? Why?
No, my wife is one of those very highly intelligent people that have multiple degrees.
And decides better off staying at home than go with the animals. That's how intelligent she is.
She helps humans. Like, she's a counselor, and she interprets for the deaf.
Yeah.
So she is more on the
human
academia
side. Yeah, she's on the human side. Well, you're on the
she's
animals.
more with humanity, and I'm more with the animals.
Yeah,
you know,
but I can see by the look on your face when you talk about your animals and everything and rescuing them, you've got this glow on your face that you're excited about it.
And when I talk about Bonnie, I like her too.
Who's?
That's my wife.
Your wife. What's Bonnie? Bonnie is his wife's name. You get excited with that too. Absolutely. So how can anybody reach you?
So we have a very heavy web presence. You can go to www.wildlifecommandcenter.com. Also, we've got a great YouTube channel.
Oh, wonderful.
It's not as good as yours. Yours has some great content
Thank you. Oh, cool. I like that.
Our YouTube channel is Wildlife Command Center. You can Google that or YouTube search that and pull us right up.
Well, we'll see if we can get your interview on your YouTube.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay, Steve,
that would be
my producer,
awesome.
I'm asking him right now. Make sure he gets it on his station. He'll like that.
I see head shaking.
Head shaking. Oh, he'll do that for you. He's cool. He's a cool guy. So that would be wonderful. Any message you would like to give anybody out there regarding animals and how they should treat them?
Well, definitely, we need to take care of animals because they can't really take care of themselves in the urban environment. Out in the wild, they can take care of themselves. But in the urban environment, they need a little bit of attention. So if you see a hurt animal, call it in. If you see a hurt hawk or an owl, call it in. And that way someone can get out and help it.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people just say, oh, that's okay. So I would do that. I would definitely call and I would definitely make sure they're okay, because that's, I have the feeling for them, because they can't defend for themselves. As you say, in wildlife they can. But in human life, where you think that they'd have more help, they don't have less help, probably.
In the urban environment, sometimes it's a difficult situation.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Michael Beran has been fabulous. We've learned an awful lot about the wildlife and even about the humans and what we do. We're a pretty good race, aren't we?
Yep.
We're doing good. We're doing okay. Thank you so much for coming on. Absolutely amazing. We'll be right back. Take us live with Ninon. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe. Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.